Welcome back to Wilsonia Vibes. I am Asir Khan, student of class 12th.
And I am Zakia Raza, a student of class 11, bringing you fresh thoughts and inspiring conversation from Wilsonia.
Today's episode is really special as we are going to talk about new education policy, NCERT, and the world of today's learning by the people who are truly inspiring. Our very own principal and co-director of Wilsonia Group, Mrs. Shwetangana ma'am, and the managing director of Neodales Play School and Montessori School, and he is also an alumni of Wilsonia, Mr. Ankur Gupta sir.
Ma'am and sir are not just teachers and leaders. They are truly guides who inspires and motivates every teacher and student to think beyond marks.
We are truly honored to have you here. Let's begin with the very first question with the ma'am.
Okay.
What excites you most about the new education policy?
Okay. So thank you first, both of you, for being such wonderful hosts and for inviting us for this podcast. And as far as your question goes, for the National Education Policy 2020, and yes, it is very new because it has just recently come out after a long gap. The thing that is what most exciting about this policy is that it has decided, or the vision behind this whole document has been that how we can prepare our younger generation to take on the challenges and be ready for the challenges of the current situation and the way the world is. We talk about the 21st century skills. So that is something which has been incorporated in this very, it has been thought about a lot. And one very interesting aspect about this policy compared to the other policies that we had in the past was, or rather is, that a lot of stakeholders which are, which you all as students will get involved with later in life, that means the corporate world or the industry where you will go and work, your future employees,
Yes.
they have also been involved in making this particular policy document. So they have passed down to the schools and colleges what is really required from the youth of the future generation.
So you answer.
Yeah, very well said. And I feel that the NEP 2020, it is something, a document which aims at changing the way we all thought education was, putting in less pressure to students, making it more holistic, making it more broad-based, making children think more than rote learning, experimenting, where there was a time when the teachers, used to teach children that this is what is expected from you, but now children are being encouraged from this new policy to think and express themselves. So that is something very wonderful in this policy, I feel.
So sir, what does holistic education really mean to you in practice?
Holistic education in practice. Okay, I go to school, you go to school. When I used to go to school, thankfully I went to a school like Wilsonia, where Ma'am Santram had the vision at that time years ago that apart from studies, she gave us a platform where we all participated in sports, athletics, dramas, skits and whatnot. But there was a certain category where for them education was going to a school just to learn, and that included parents. Parents expected from their child कि मेरा बच्चा स्कूल जा रहा है पढ़ने, तुम आज क्या पढ़कर आए हो? किसी ने कभी पूछा कि तुम आज क्या खेल कर आए हो? आज कौन सा गेम खेला? आज तुम्हें कैसा रहा दिन? यही पूछा, क्या पढ़ाया आज मैम ने? Am I right?
Yes.
Absolutely sir.
So holistic education is not पढ़ाई. पढ़ाई के साथ साथ बहुत सारी चीजें हैं. You might not be so interested in पढ़ाई, but you have such a wonderful talent. You are sitting here confidently, putting a barrage of questions on me and making me nervous. That is the quality. Maybe you're not getting good marks in math. So does it make you not a good student? What do you think about yourself? This is part of holistic. Ashish sir has given you a platform.
Yes, sir.
He had faith in you that this is your forte. You can
Do it.
ask us various questions. Part of holistic education.
Ma'am, do you feel that NCERT books match real classroom needs or they should be more flexible?
Interesting question, Zakia. See, I am, for one, am a teacher who personally feels that there should be no books in the classroom. Okay? Because you have your teacher there, you have 35, 40 children in the classroom, so you have those 41 brains in the classroom who can, discover, explore, and discuss what has to be studied. Number one. But yes, when you move to the very lower grades where, you may say that, ma'am, how can you expect, very small children to be discussing in the classroom? But then there what happens is books have always been a supplement. Books and should be used as a supplement and a complement to what you are teaching. So NCERT books, what we hear these days that parents and the various authorities are telling us that we should use only NCERT books and not other books. So in their defense, I'll speak on both sides.
Yes.
The reasons they are saying that is because NCERT books are definitely cheaper. That's the only thing I'll say, and they are to the point where the content is concerned. They're to the point. I won't say that they have lack of content. They have the content as much as required, as per what the authorities feel is the requirement for appearing in a board exam or appearing in a examination. Now, going to the other side, the opposite, group which talks about that, why should we be forced to use NCERT books? I would say that, there are a lot of times when in a classroom, we cater to all kinds of children. Okay? We are catering to a child who learns by doing. We are catering to a child who learns by listening. We are catering to also a child who learns by reading. Right? So that child wants material. That child wants more and more things to read. Just now, sir talked about and gave an example about how the curriculum pattern has changed, and he was giving the example of his daughter that how they have to give a presentation. Now, to give those presentations, children need resources. They need information. So there, if you have books which can give you that in more detail, that would definitely be, great. But having said all that, I would still say that books are just there to complement. And in today's time and age where there's so much of ICT and technology, I'm not even sure whether, whether it's NCERT or any publisher, whether even a book is required by the children because they have all the information that is there.
And sir, what's your views on that?
Well, she has said it all. I think I will not have much to add to what she has said about NCERT books. But yes, if one school is using NCERT books, number one, yes, it has very good content.
Yes, sir.
As far as the basics are concerned, the content is good. But what happens is, what we have felt, if a child is leaving a school midway, my school is up to class 5, so all children after class 5 leave. Is the other school following the same pattern of NCERT books that they have learned in class 5 in my school or not? The whole purpose is defeated. Either it is uniform across all the schools, entire India, then those books are very relevant.
Yes.
However, as Shwetangana ma'am said, they do not, she did not say that. She said that they are all the books according to her are supplementary, but they do not cover so much of content as might be required in today's changing scenario. There is much more which a student is expected to know, which do they cover, and that is what I said, that either all the schools only follow NCERT books or whichever subjects it is, but it should not be that a child of my school who is past class 5, whatever he has done, he comes across in class 6 something new chapters, something which he has not studied ever, and there is a much high possibility. No doubt, as far as the prices are concerned, yes, they are very, very uh, within the range of parents. So you definitely have that benefit.
So, ma'am, what kind of a support or training teachers need for the implementation of new education policy? What's your view on that?
Okay. So let me just ask you a question. If something you wanted to learn, let's say you wanted to learn how to swim, or let's say you had to learn how to cycle, so what would you look for? You would want someone who can, guide you, someone who can train you. And it's not that you just by reading a theoretical description of, this is how you are supposed to do it, and, step one, step two, you're going to be able to manage. It's not going to happen. So now what has happened is that the education policy has given so many guidelines to the teachers that this is the way we need you to teach. It should be an approach which is, observation based. It is an approach where children should do hands-on activities. It is an approach where we have to move away from rote learning and make them more curious and collaborative and all those sort of things. It's a huge document. But now the teachers, by just reading that, are not going to be able to implement it. Because all said and done, the generation who we are, the teachers, we have also been taught in a particular way. And we feel that probably that was the best way. Other than that, some of us who have been teaching for many years, we feel that, now that this is probably the tried and tested way and this is the best way. So for that reason, training of teachers to be able to implement the new methodologies is going to be very important. Yes. And for that reason, I think all the boards now, whether it is ISC, whether it is CBSE, they've all started taking an initiative to make sure that their teachers are being periodically trained, periodically exposed to sessions where they can, work together. They come from different schools, they sit together, they discuss a particular topic. There is a resource person, but then there are, everybody shares their ideas, what they do in their classrooms, how they can share. So that is how, the training is being done, and it is very important.
Yes, ma'am, it's a brilliant option.
That is true. Yeah.
So, what do you want to say, sir, about it?
About teachers training, well, Shwetangana ma'am has been doing a lot of teachers training. She has told us how important it is, because the teachers of today, they whatever best they know, they are teaching as per those. They are very good teachers. I'm not saying they don't know. They are excellent in their work, but the government is now demanding something different from them, a new approach from them.
A new level.
So how will they do it? Again, I give you a book, okay, this is how you're supposed to teach. No, it will never happen. I'll give you a book how to, she said no. To swim, I'll give you a book which tells you everything. You go on the internet and Google how to learn swimming. Will you dare jump in the pool?
No.
Will you?
No, sir.
I will not. My life is very precious for me. It's same with that.
Yes, sir.
So there has to be someone like Shwetangana ma'am who can give good training to teachers about what NEP is, how to go about it, and how to go about it effectively.
As competitions and competitive exams are very tough today, why do you think that's happening? And is there any remedy you would like to suggest?
Too few institutions, too many for that, applying for that. That is one reason.
Yes, sir.
Your parents have said that, Zakia, you have to become a doctor. Zakia has no interest in bio.
Yes, sir.
बट मम्मी पापा ने कह रखा है कि तेरे को बेटा डॉक्टर बनना है, क्या करे? मम्मी पापा की सुननी है, वो लगी पड़ी हैं. He is very strong in bio. Definitely he will also become a doctor, but you want to match him. What is it? Competition. Why do you compete with him?
But I'm not
Compete
interested.
with yourself.
Yes, sir.
I want to be better than today. I want to be better tomorrow than what I am today. India has given you now, so when I was in school, no, I'm giving you my example. We had 3 options. Entire class had 3 options. तुम क्या बनोगे? Doctor, engineer या CA? There was no 4th option. You people are very lucky That was competition. You're talking about competition? That was competition. Today, competition is, I think, I should not be saying, please excuse me, parents, whoever are watching me, it's the parents. I see it in my school. The competition is because of parents and between parents. You've got 98 marks. उसको कितने मिले? आसिफ को कितने मिले? They're both. So when you are very happy, excited, going home, that today I'm going to tell my parents I achieved so many marks. उसको कितना मिले बेटा? वो तुम्हारा competitor है. Who's creating the competition? You went happily. You didn't bother how many he got. You were happy that I did my best. So where is the competition coming from? Competition is coming from external sources.
Yes, sir.
The competition should be only with you. I have to do my best. So many universities, so many colleges in India. Why do you have to become a doctor? Why do you have to become an engineer? If you have that knack of becoming an engineer or doctor, you will become without competition. But you can become a journalist. You can go into AI, data centers. Yes. I mean, thousands and thousands. My daughter, again, I would give an example of my daughter. She hated maths. But I was a bad parent. I said, math तो जिंदगी में बहुत जरूरी है. You better take math. Thankfully to my wife, she said no, she's not. She took math for 2 months, and her life was hell. It didn't go into her head, and even that how come my child is not taking math? She didn't take math. She skipped math. Today, she's a much happier child. I realized, forget competition. My child's happiness is more important.
Yes, sir.
Why does everybody want to do what the other person is doing? If you are in Infosys, he can be in some other good IT company. Maybe they are paying more. Maybe there's a brighter future. It is something which is not real. Competition is not real. It is created. External forces create that. We have to understand how to balance that. It is my life. I know what I have to become. I know what I have to do. So one very important aspect is parents need to understand this. You've come in class 8th and then they send you to a coaching center. You're missing the fun of school life. You're missing that what school teaches you, no one can teach you ever in life.
So, how teachers can use NCERT books more creatively, not just for their dictionary or rote learning, sir?
Okay. See, for that they have to actually put in a lot of labor, in the sense that NCERT, as I just told you, very good for basics, very good for foundation teaching. When it comes to beyond that, they have to prepare worksheets. They have to be creative and frequently keep giving children. That is, I think, the best way how they can be more creative with these NCERT textbooks. That's all I can say.
Yes, sir. So if I can add to that, because of being part of the CBSE school and going through the NCERT books of late, I would just like to say that NCERT also has of late revised a lot of their books. What has happened is, from books which were earlier, like what sir is describing them, I've also studied from NCERT books because I am a Kendriya Vidyalaya product. So Kendriya Vidyalaya mein we were only using NCERT books because that was what used to happen. जो सर बता रहे थे एग्जाम्पल कि अगर आज मैंने यहाँ से स्कूल छोड़ के आई गो टू अनदर स्कूल आई कुड जस्ट गो विद द सेम बुक्स सो that is why the KVs follow those books. But that time the NCERT books were very overly theoretical to the point, and itna course आना चाहिए, that much was information was given. But the primary level, what is being known as the Bal Vatika, that is the nursery KGs and the UKGs as we know it, that level books which now are getting revised, the new books that they have made, what they have done is they've gone to the other extreme now. Now those books have nothing but activities. Okay, so what is important is that we need to find a balance. Yes. The books were lacking activities. Now they have put just too many activities. The teachers now are feeling that, ma'am, like we need something to teach also. Only then will we do the activities. So at the end of the day, to answer your question, it is not just that whether NCERT book or the XYZ book or the other book is going to help the teacher. It is the teacher who needs to be creative.
वैसे कि सर आप एक्स विल्सोनियन हैं तो कोई ऐसा इम्पोर्टेंट या फनी पार्ट आप अपनी स्कूल लाइफ का शेयर करना चाहें हमारे साथ?
क्या जरूरी है मैं एक ही करूं?
No, sir.
Can I share more than one?
Yes, sir.
Because I have two very interesting, I don't know how they may sound, whether you might find it funny or not, whether people watching me might find it funny or not, but whenever we friends meet, we laugh like crazy because we have gone through it, we have experienced it, we have done that. So the first incident goes like this. We were sitting in the library, and one of the windows of the library was overlooking the road. We were in the other block, the main block. So one of the windows was overlooking the road, and we guys started suddenly feeling very hungry. Wanted to have samosas. What to do? And with Ma'am Santram, she loved us so much, but still we were terrified from her. What to do? What to do? Somebody came up with the idea. You know what we did? All the students wearing ties. Please, mind you, don't do that. They took off their ties and made a long rope out of that. They tied all the ties long enough that, since the library was on the first floor, long enough so that the rope can come down to the road. And they tied a bag. Somehow somebody managed, the girls, normally they used to get a bag or something with them, and we tied a bag to it. कुछ जुगाड़बाजी करके थे ना, जुगाड़बाजी करके किसी सड़क वाले से कि भैया फलाना इतने समोसे ले आना, जरा पैसे भी डाल दिए. We had the money also, we kept. And if I am not wrong, ma'am's window also overlooked, I think her window and the library's window were on top of each other. Ashish sir, if I'm not wrong, as far as I remember. So, samosas came, everything in order. Just imagine ma'am seeing all the ties slowly coming up, and then there's a big bag. The rest was history. Another very interesting, the last one, which I would love to share. So there was this, again, I don't know what is there about the library, and there was one adjoining room and the connecting door. So there was the commerce students sitting in the library, and we science students in the next class. Light goes off. वो समय तो बहुत जाती थी, अब तो बहुत बेहतर हो गया, घड़ी घड़ी जाती थी. And we were fortunate enough that we had a generator in school. वरना generator भी सबके यहाँ नहीं होते थे. So one of the teachers, Mr. Maheshwari, I remember his name very well still. He was teaching us math. काफी देर हो गई, जनरेटर नहीं चला. He said, भाई जनरेटर कौन चलाता है? And every class has one notorious boy. At least one every class. I'm sure in your class there must be one. He, out of jest, he said, sir, I will not like to take his name, X person, that boy, supposing you are Asif, sir, Asif चलाता है. कहाँ है वो? Sir, in the library. Sir goes in the library. Asif कौन है भाई? Sir is saying, calling out my name, maybe something good is about to happen. He is going to praise me. So very proudly and happily, sir, it's me. And then he scolded him, तुम इतनी देर से generator क्यों नहीं चलाते हो? Oh God, he was like red on the face. Class laughing out. Hilarious episode of Wilsonia, which we will never forget until date. Even if tomorrow we friends meet, we will make sure to discuss this episode. I don't know how well I've been able to put it, but we have experienced it, so we know how hilarious it was. The way that boy of science told him, sir, that boy, he starts the generator. Though, of course, it's the peon who does it. I mean, whoever was designated, no student would do that. And he really thought he does it. He really thought so. So he said, who's this? And why don't you start the generator? He was very furious at him. Out of no reason, he had it.
Any from you, ma'am?
Well, I'm not fortunate enough to have been an alumni of the school. Otherwise, I'm sure I would have had all these wonderful memories. But yes, this is another example of the fact that, how schooling and school life is the most treasured part of your life. So something which, because you both are almost at the end of your schooling, treasure the memories.
And that is what I said,
yes.
Coaching, they go to coaching.
Yeah, they go for coaching.
They miss out all this.
You miss out this fun. So, treasure these memories, because the longest time anyway you spend will be in a school, and you will have beautiful memories to, when you are our age, you will sit with your friends and discuss this. But yes, I have completed over 2 decades in this institution now, so do have some beautiful memories, a lot of beautiful memories actually. But one which would stand out at this time right now, because we are discussing something which is a little funny, on the funny tone. So I would say is that when we were celebrating the 25th H.R. Wilson competition, that time ma'am was so excited, and everybody was very excited about some celebration to happen, because prior to that, of course, I was not part of the institution then, when the 25 years of the school had been celebrated. So this was another landmark that was coming, because the 50 years of the school was still far out. So everybody was very excited that the 25th H.R. Wilson competition is going to be wonderful. And as ma'am was, and she always wanted some very grand event to happen. In fact, I think you all also, the alumni also performed in that program. But what for me personally, what was the most interesting thing in that was, I am confessing that मेरे से बुरा कोई नहीं गाना गा सकता. So literally on channel I'm saying that. And Mama decided that we are going to have a play in which there is a auditioning happening, because at that time this Indian Idol and all was starting, and they were a big thing कि we are going to do a play जिसमें हम लोग सब आ रहे हैं और हम लोग audition करेंगे. And I was also sort of bullied into कि आपको भी वो करना है. And I think आज तक मुझे वो गाना मसकली नहीं भूला है, because stage पे जितना मैंने अपना बेवकूफ बनाया था उससे I don't think anybody has done it. But the point is that it was fun. It was something which brought us all together. Students, alumni, teachers, we all did that, and that is a very beautiful memory that I have, and I think
I know,
I
just
will cherish that a
imagine
lot.
somebody who's unable to sing and he's called upon in front of so many people to sing.
So, though I had to be myself, because I had to sing badly, so I didn't have to put in any acting effort into that. I am bad and I was
It
bad.
was an audition.
So, yeah. So, but that is it, yes. But those are the memories that we have, and that is what I would say.
That sounds really fun. So, ma'am, if you have to write a book about your life, what would be the title?
What would be the title of a book if I write? Okay, that's an interesting question. I think I would probably call it a roller coaster, because just to share, my life has been like that, because I come from an army background, so I have been all over the place. And professionally bhi agar dekha jaye to, I am trained as an architect. Now I am doing teaching. So things have changed. Things have gone up and down like a roller coaster does. But what happens at the end of a roller coaster? You scream and shout and you laugh and you cry, everything when you go through that. But at the end of it, you feel, wow, I did it, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So I think that's how I would describe it.
And sir, what's about you?
That's cheating, Shweta.
Well, we never spoke about this, so it can't be cheating.
I was supposed to say this.
Oh my God.
Well,
Ah.
never thought of what if I am supposed
It
to
was a
say.
difficult one.
Yeah, actually.
It was a difficult one.
I mean, it was on similar lines. Yes, I would if I were to write a book. I don't know how this title sounds, but yeah, twists and turns.
Yes, sir. That's nice.
Okay.
So, ma'am and sir, it's been an absolute honor having you with us today.
The words remind us that education isn't just about marks, it's about purpose, curiosity, and learning.
Exactly. That's true.
Thank you, Mrs. Shwetangana ma'am and Mr. Ankur sir,
Thanks.
for sharing your words and wisdom with us.
Thank you. It was a pleasure coming back to my old school.
Yes, it was really lovely to be here, and thank you so much for the honor. God bless you.
Thank you everyone for listening to the Wilsonia Vibes. Until next time, stay curious, stay kind, and keep learning.
And let your light shine.